So welcome back everyone to Global Government News in this third part of this news bulletin for July 29th, 2010. I'm Darko, and the title of this article is Arizona anti-illegal immigration laws are national ID laws in disguise. And so I think we're all aware now that the bill that was supposed to be effective as of today did not go in effect because of a federal Supreme Court ruling that basically put a stop on it, except for one thing, and that is the national ID. So it's interesting that this person who wrote this on June 17th, 2010 said that the whole bill is basically about a national ID, which a lot of us who are privacy advocates were aware of, right? The messed up part about this whole immigration issue is that I spoke about this. I'm not going to go into much detail. Just check out my previous videos that I've covered, where I've covered this Arizona issue, where I explain this whole debacle, this whole kind of irony and double-edged sword with this immigration law. And just in summary, or in short, what I was saying was that yes, there is a need, there is a demand for either state governments, well, not really federal governments, but state governments to stop the flow of illegal immigrants or undocumented workers in the country, because they are helping to bleed this political and financial system that we have here in the United States, because we're paying into it and they're not. It's as simple as that. They need to be accounted for, need to know who they are, and if they're not going to do whatever they need to do to become citizens, to please leave. Because I am willing to work for jobs that, other Americans aren't, but I can't because I can't work below minimum wage. So this whole issue kind of sucks, like I said, without going too far into it, is because it really is about a national ID. But the other thing is too, is that a lot of these people that are quote patriots are for this bill, and which sucks is that they want to go around and start profiling people, and that's fine, and that's good all and well, because we all know that they're not going to go and voluntarily go to the registration office and register, right, and become citizens legally. No, they're not going to do that, and so you have to go out and you have to find these people, which is fine, but it should be a temporary, something temporary, I would say. I would propose, not permanent, because these types of laws, all these patriots that are all about privacy and that, what you're doing is creating a law. You're creating a mechanism that can be used against you. So down the road, oh, you're a citizen. Let's see your worker ID card, and you're driving in your car, and there's checkpoints for whatever reason. Let's see if you're a citizen, Mr. White Man. You wanted the law, So it goes both ways. All right. So I said my piece on that. This is July 28th, 2010. Arizona immigration law backfires. Now it's all about national ID. In a ruling today, the federal judge struck down everything that occurs at the time after a police stop, but left everything in before the police stop, including the sending of law-abiding Arizonan drivers' license information to the feds. National database. We all know that, right? Federal database and your state ID. So the situation is still developing. But it said, however, Russell Pearce, the only elected Republican in Arizona who is actively working on implementation of national IDs for Arizonans for over 15 years, see, it's a Republican, and succeeded in SB 1070, succeeded again today in the federal judge's ruling. The national ID component of SB 1070, section 11-1051, subsections F, F1, F2, survived the federal court ruling. Essentially, what we are left with is none of the immigration enforcement, but with national IDs for Arizonans. So you see, that's exactly what I was getting at. And this is what we have to be aware of, just like the Afghanistan thing, which I'm getting ready to roll into next video, where the whole leak was basically staged. They leaked. It was a well-planned, whitewashed story that most people already knew, that Pakistan is aiding Taliban. We're giving money to Pakistan. We're giving money to the Taliban. We're directly paying the Taliban not to fire on us, and that Iran is making it harder for them in Afghanistan because it's their sphere of influence. So And all that's going to do is build up anti-sentiment or bolster support for operations and more operations in Pakistan, because we're already droning them, but also in Iran. So see, they do this purposely to manipulate public support and public opinion. Like I said before, that's your friendly CIA. So that rolls right into this next little issue, which is the Afghanistan and WikiLeaks. Beyond the leaks are Pakistan problems. So see, there you go. Thursday, July 29th, 2010. Just like the BP disaster, where they just let it go to watch, to let you feel guilty, to make you feel guilty, so that you can scream for a carbon tax. And then now they're saying, oh, look at, there's a heat wave in Russia. Ooh, it's you know, global warming is undeniable, or climate change is undeniable. This is all planned. If you're not aware of that already, everything is a very structured, engineered society, highly engineered society, and information and communications is the focal point for that. And of course, time is establishment, right? Let's read what it says. It says the release, this is one paragraph here, and you can see exactly, they're just verifying what I just said. The release of 91,000 secret documents about the war in Afghanistan by WikiLeaks turned out to be your classic media bang fizzle, right? The first day bang was caused by the spectacular breach of security and promise of devastating revelations, especially about Pakistan's clandestine support for the Taliban. The second day fizzle was caused by the absence of much that was new in the documents, right? So we already knew that. By the third day, it was pretty much over. And here it goes. But the war goes on. Futility at the moment. Indeed, the actual situation on the ground is worse than the secret documents describe, a fact that was made plain in testimony in the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. And it says on the third day of the story. I mentioned in previous videos that Iraq, Afghanistan, well, we went to Afghanistan first, but basically Afghanistan, the big buildup pretty much began after Iraq, where they deployed people from Iraq back to Afghanistan and then put new troops into Afghanistan from all around the world. But basically, Afghanistan became what Iraq was, an occupation, right? And then a failure. And then we moved to Afghanistan, and then so Afghanistan will be like Iraq, where it's a failure, and then we move on. And then so the next Afghanistan will be Pakistan. And that's what I was saying before. We're already there. We're already droning people and civilians and, quote, militants. You know, and I'll go on a limb here and say I wouldn't be surprised if we had some kind of intelligence agencies along with Delta Force or Recon in there as well. But keep your eyes on these countries: Pakistan, Iran, Libya, or I'm sorry, Lebanon, Syria, Israel, Turkey. Just keep your eye on those countries, because that's where most of the stuff seems to be popping off. So after this planned leak, what do you get? Like everything else, right? Problem, reaction, solution. Oh, well, we're gonna make sure that we run closer to like the Gestapo and the Reich and the Soviet Union, right? A return to silence in a post-WikiLeaks world, right? So they planned this leak. It helps them bolster anti-sentiment and support for moving towards Iran and Pakistan. It says, dismayed by the massive war document leak, intelligence experts are raising alarms at the post-11 changes promoting information sharing that have made it too easy to lose control of the nation's secrets. It's not a secret what they were saying. We already knew that. And how do they stop these low-level intelligence analysts from leaking data? Former CIA Chief Hayden, who now works with the Chertoff Group, that's right, who promotes the body scanners, suggests pouring resources into, quote, real-time keystroke analysis of government employees, monitoring everything they type and creating a perpetual cyber polygraph. And you might like this. No-fly zone declared for Chelsea Clinton's upstate New York wedding. FAA will close local airspace along the Hudson River. Federal Aviation says local airspace will be restricted from 3 p.m. Saturday to 3:30 a.m. Sunday. Because she's just so damn important. Thank you.